connected to Cisco Unplugged.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 71 of Cisco Unplugged, your show for all things wireless. I'm Dan Klamert, your host here with Al Dumdei. How's it going, Al?
Hey, good, Dan. Good.
Good to
Looking
see you.
forward to today's show. This is going to be this is a new one for us, right?
Yes, yeah, definitely will be fun. The pre-show here, it's already been lots of
You mean
laughs.
we're going to
so-
do a show? I thought we were done.
Okay, here he comes.
Hey, wait a minute here. I haven't introduced you yet. Come
Oh.
on. Just, hold your horses.
Start it over.
It's funny because when we get this crew together and we've had many like conversations that are sort of serious about products and stuff like that.
Oh, sure.
Before we're always cutting up and just having a good time, and so we just said, one time we said, let's just do that as a show, right? And talk about some of the experiences we've had and that sort of stuff. And so it's Matt and Josh and Bo, we'll introduce them here in a second, have been gracious enough to come on and
Yeah.
we'll the gracious part we'll decide afterwards. But
Yeah.
they're here.
Hopefully they
to,
come back. Hopefully they
yeah.
come back. So
Yeah.
so
We're
this
going to
week
do the pre-show now during the show this time.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. So this week we're discussing stories from the field. Should be a great episode. Lots of fun here. We would like to welcome back Matt Swartz, Josh, sir. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good. Wi-Fi is working.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for joining. And then we have a first-time guest today too, Bo Harriman. How are you doing, Bo?
Doing well, thank you.
Thanks a lot for joining. Good to see you. All right. Before we get rolling here, would like to cover the Slido. We already have a question via the Slido somehow. So
first time we ever had a question on Slido before we started.
there's a first time for everything. People are raring to go. So thanks, Mr. Nilsson, for watching and tuning in. But anyways, for those of you not on the Slido yet or would like to ask any questions via Slido, we are live. We do take questions via Slido, so you can see the QR code to join that, or it is below the video on YouTube. You can join the Slido, ask any questions. We'll interject those during the show here. And then, as usual, I mentioned YouTube. We are recording this, and it is streaming live right now on YouTube at youtube.com/@getunplugged. Please be sure to go out there, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you are notified when we do go live with good content like this, and also informative content. Not that you won't be informed today, but today will be
Maybe more informed than you want to be.
maybe, yeah. Let you be the judge of that. So with that, I guess let's get started here. Al, you and you'd mentioned the kind of the premise for the show. We've talked a lot about deployments, high density stadiums. I know Matt, Josh, you've been on the show before. We've talked about Super Bowls and stuff like that. We also then get into a lot of the side stories and whatever. And I think that's what we wanted to talk about today. It's some of the fun stuff that we've run into out there.
Yeah.
I'd say let's just start with the question first. How about?
Oh boy.
So
bring it.
So Matt, this question is for you.
You sure it's not for Josh?
No, this one's for you. It says, ask Matt if this moose now has a name. You have a moose?
I have that moose. It's in my office somewhere.
Oh boy.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Here we
Here we
go.
go.
Lost
boy.
it.
Starting
I
off the
put it
rails.
off into the horizon.
Now we're
Oh,
in
yeah,
cabbage.
moose up.
But I was knew how it's coming. It's in my office. I just got to remember where I put it. The moose, yes. The moose is awesome. I finally was crowned good enough to be honored with the moose in Prague earlier this year. So thank you so much.
Okay.
So he gives out moose. What's the plural of moose? Mice? Meese?
Mooses.
Gives out these moose stuffed animal things for, I think, he can probably clarify, but I think for like presentations that he thinks are good or worthy or something like that, you can earn your moose.
Nice.
So I earned it in Prague at WLPC.
Very good.
Did you answer the question?
No, he didn't.
The name of the moose. The name of the moose is Josh.
Wow.
Well, okay.
I'm joking.
On that note,
I actually haven't named the moose yet. I should. I didn't know that he needed a name. I thought I just called him Moose.
So Josh, have you ever worked with Matt before?
No,
Yeah, okay.
no, I
Wouldn't be
can't
my
claim
answer,
that.
yeah.
No,
Keyword work.
Definitely.
I have been working with Matt since like 2010. So that's where I met him on a high density Wi-Fi project. I was not at the time with Cisco. I was working on a stadium here in Kansas City, and it was a new build, and I was with a partner. So I was doing a lot of, when you work for a partner, a lot of times you're a jack of all trades. You do, security, route switch, wireless, whatever it is that's got to get done to get the job done. So I was in there covering a lot of ground, had some help from other folks on the project, of course. But that was my first exposure into, making Wi-Fi work, and those were in the days of pretty much 2.4 only. 5 gig was just starting to see the light of day. Certainly not in client devices. But I just had a freaking blast working with Matt and the team that came out to help, and ended up coming to work with Matt shortly after that project.
A couple key things, though. That stadium was the very first stadium to deploy the grayling antenna
That's right.
so early that the boxes that showed up said Foxconn and not Cisco on them. So that was a big one for us because that was the first kind of purpose-built stadium antenna. A couple other interesting notes about Sporting KC was right across the street. What's the name of that? Granite City?
Granite City. Yep.
Granite City Brewery. And we ended a lot of long nights there. And I successfully slid my rental car perfectly into a parking spot in front of Granite City one time after playing bumper cars with Dan Campbell the whole way through the parking lot. So don't ever buy a rental car if I drove it. That's a long time ago. I was allowed back then. It's frowned upon. 15 years ago, you could do it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I remember when I first joined the CX team, and you guys were presenting something on stadium stuff, and every time it would come to like real information, Matt would point to Josh and say, "Josh, you got the data on that?" It's like Josh is putting this, and what I remember walking away from on that was, I needed Josh. Josh.
Sure, for sure. Because
how do you get one of those?
Everyone knows that there's a lot of stuff in my head, but I hate documentation. I hate it. But Josh is actually phenomenal at it. And so like he's just got it ready. So like during most of our presentations, I'll just go down some rabbit hole, and before I know it, he's sharing a slide on it. And I'm like, well, there you go. So that's why it's been an awesome team.
Yeah.
Because he fills all of my weaknesses pretty well.
Yeah.
We got to know Bo not too long after. Bo, when did you come into Cisco? I don't remember.
I came into Cisco in late 2010. So I'm
so about the same
15
time.
years now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I joined you guys on the stadium stuff when we started doing baseball in 2010.
That's right.
Baseball was a fun run.
Yeah,
boy,
it sure
I
was.
like doing that. Yeah. That was a fun one.
Speaking of baseball, let's see. I'm going to share a picture here in just a second.
Probably did about 25 baseball stadiums.
It's
and then
very
Extreme
blurry.
came in and basically paid for the sponsorship, and that was the end of that.
Yep.
Oh boy, there we go. Yeah.
But I recognize him.
So yeah, this is Snoop. When we were doing baseball, we got to do a lot of one of the things that we did was all-star games.
Before he really broke out and got huge, doing Olympic coverage.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's right. Or Martha Stewart shows.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. So we got to see Snoop, and he definitely legitimately had a full-on entourage
Nice.
of people that and carried with him, as you might imagine, a cloud of smoke.
I bet you don't have one of these. This is the Snoop Paris 2024 pin where he's blowing Olympic smoke rings. I got that.
Oh, that's a real pin. Wow.
Oh yeah, it's the real one. Yep.
Yeah.
Not many people have that little gem.
Wow.
So I have a little trip down memory lane here. This is actually a little bit late in the let's just pop through here.
Oh boy.
This is
Hanging
a
in
very
awe.
chilly top of MetLife Stadium where it was the Super Bowl. It was windy. We were freezing.
Oh.
And we found an interferer on the roof that was blasting out. I think it was some chunk of 5 gig was getting
So
blasted out.
I just want to back up one thing though. We knew this thing was up there. We told, our contacts, hey, there's this thing up there. And true to form, like nobody wanted to touch it because they didn't know what it was doing. And which is super typical for a Super Bowl sometimes. Like it's like that last 2 or 3 days, things start showing up out of nowhere. And you're like, who did that?
Yeah.
Well, then during the game, the suite that was right below this had a bunch of really important people in it. And they said that things weren't working. And we get a call that says, can you go up and unplug that interferer? And it's during the Super Bowl, and we've never had to do this before. So sure enough, we climb up the ladder, cold as can be. And if you look down near the feet there, it's one of those catwalks where it's just big open grates, so I'm like scared to death to drop anything because there's literally people watching the game below us, like directly below us.
Wow.
And so we're undoing this thing and my phone just keeps buzzing in my pocket. And I'm like, there's no way I'm pulling my phone out of my pocket up here right now. Okay, Josh, you can finish. but that was like my phone just kept ringing. And I was like,
It turns out that the phone was ringing because it was someone pretty high up organizationally in the NFL calling to say, hey, halftime's about to start. You know what happens at halftime? A whole bunch of fireworks start going off. You know where those fireworks start going off from? Pretty much right where we're standing.
the catwalk that you're standing on.
Yeah. So I don't know. Did you finally answer the phone, or did we just happen to make it down in time before we got blown
I
off the
answered
top
it
of the
as soon
stadium?
as we got to the bottom of the ladder, and I was like, "Yep." And they're like, "Get off the catwalk!" And it was like, boom, 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 boom.
Don't they have like snipers and stuff like that too? Those games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've seen those before too.
Yeah.
I think at this particular game, it was cool because when you were up on the catwalk, you could see them like down on the rooftops and they intense. But I think the one that scared me the most was I think it was Lucas Oil Stadium in 2012. We were up in the catwalk doing something, and those guys are pretty well like disguised. They'll sit in like those little tents, like a hunting tent almost. And I'm just walking around, and I'm like 3 feet from this dude. And I look over, I'm like, "Oh God!" he doesn't exactly say hello. So,
I'm sure.
This is what it looks like. When we tell people, we're like, yeah, we got to go work the Super Bowl this year. They're always like, oh, what a rough gig. You got to go to the Super Bowl. This is what it can actually look like to work the Super Bowl. And this happens to be one where the power went out. This was over 10 years ago. I don't know, 11, 12, something like that.
Yeah, New Orleans. I remember that.
Usually we're sitting in a back room somewhere. And when the power went out, there was a lot of us, the power was fine in the room we were sitting in because we were off like in the back of house, like service tunnel area somewhere. And we were none the wiser, except we were obviously all watching various systems that we had running and doing some tweaking and tuning and things like that. And you go to try to get into a switch or a router, and you're like, why isn't that responding? Tap, tap, tap. Why isn't it responding? Tap, 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 tap. And then you start seeing red show up on stuff that shouldn't be red on your screen.
Then all of our phones started buzzing. Remember that? Everyone, because all of our friends at home were like, "What'd you do? Kick the power cord?"
What'd you do?
We didn't know. We literally didn't know because we were on the side of the building that didn't lose power. And it took, I bet you there was about a 4 or 5 minute delay between when it first went out and things monitoring wise starting to show and like our phones buzzed pretty quickly, but same thing. We're just like, "I'm busy. I'll get to that in a second." And then it was, "What'd you do?" And we're like, "What?" And then half the building's completely dark. And then there was something really cool about that one. I have to give credit to, I believe it was Bill from AmpThink. Everything's running on UPS in the core. And we went and we shut down half the core Why? Because the batteries would last so much longer if we weren't depleting them so fast. So it's just a good testament to building like highly redundant, large scalable network. Should be able to go and shut down half the core and nothing should happen. And we did. And we kept the whole network up, the part that still had power. But,
and that's the thing. Despite, a half or more than half the building being completely out of power, there were elevators that were stuck, right? The Wi-Fi itself and the network itself never fully went down. Like we had coverage in areas where we were able to do that. So it was pretty cool. And this was early on. This was early days in the high density Wi-Fi space. We had, those were the days where we had physical wireless LAN controllers for every quote unquote RF profile, because we didn't have RF profiles yet. So we had to actually have a separate physical piece of hardware for every different kind of type of RF tuning that we wanted, or an optimization that we wanted to do. So it's pretty crazy.
Josh, you want to talk about things that you might see in the stairwell at the Superdome? Or
no? Oh my God. Yeah. We've seen some things in stairwells happening that you really just don't want to see.
Yeah, you're like that. You can't unsee it. Look at that. There's a picture of Pete Sikoski.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Look at
He looks young
Pete
there.
Yeah, he looks super young.
There's Pete.
I hope he sees this.
Sneaky Pete and Jake at the very back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got Jeremy back there. Kevin Turrek's back there somewhere, but I think Matt's blocking his head.
And that's hard to do. Kevin's got a big head.
Matt has a well-known reputation for trying to start vehicles to which he does not have the keys. This is one of those situations.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
And if I do get to start one, like if it starts, it's gone. It's gone. I did it at a golf course and got in a bunch of trouble.
Yep. And this was our 10 minutes of fame where we got to where he's basically where we're standing on the field. This was media day actually before that same Super Bowl. I noticed the air check in my hand. I was legitimately trying to at least look legitimate by having an air check in my hand.
Who you on the phone
talking
with there, Matt?
Yeah, I wonder who Matt was talking to.
It was somebody that told us that we were on TV.
Yeah, I figured that.
Yeah, there's Jake. Jake looks over. There's the
kid. Yep. So we're definitely doing some hard work there.
It's like construction work. Like one guy's working, the rest of them are watching.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all we needed was a couple super big gulps, and we would have been good.
We were holding down the field. For sure. There's a lot of this kind of thing. There's Lee Johnson down there at the bottom. So this must have been an amphitheater or something.
Yep.
Do a lot of getting up on chairs and checking boxes. Oh, this is something that we've done a lot of, which is talk about high density Wi-Fi at Cisco Live.
Boy, look how young we look there.
I know, it's crazy. Looking at these old pictures, I'm like, my goodness. Look like kids.
Ooh, that was fun.
Got to take a little plane ride. You want to tell them about that, Matt?
So our good friends at Claire Global, we love those guys. They're awesome. We were there, and if you've seen any of our presentations, we talk a lot about the Rock Lidditz campus and how we've done testing for both the 9104 and the 9179 in their facility. That's a rehearsal studio for concerts, but they are just so fun. And so we're sitting at their hotel bar the night before, and we're like, oh man, how long is it going to take us to get to Harrisburg Airport tomorrow? And they're like, I think it was like 45 minutes or something. And then shortly thereafter, they're like, how much do you weigh? And I was like, that's getting a little personal. Like, take it easy. Like, I'm not in the best shape, but no, I actually think I was at that point. I was proud of it. Anyway, and they're like, well, we can fly you there in like 10 minutes. And we're like, really? And so there we are on the little plane that they flew us to the airport in. And it's kind of cool. You land at the airport and you just walk out of the little private area and into the commercial area and get on the plane. I was like, I need this all the time.
You fit in there, Matt? I mean, you're
barely. That's why they had to ask him his weight, because they're
they took a seat out for me for sure. So
they did.
So I can extend the
you
legs.
have leg room, or where your knees are on your ears, or
And there was definitely general agreement of, if we were overloaded once we got up there, who was going to have to go out of the window.
Yeah.
I won't say who it was.
I think Jake was super nervous though, because he's like,
He
I
was.
can't tell Stacy. I can't tell Stacy I'm doing this. I can't tell Stacy.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
tell her when we win.
this is the bullet train in
Ooh, yeah.
in Japan. Yeah. Yeah. We did some work getting ready for the Olympics that were supposed to happen in 2020. This is prior to COVID. So a couple of different, actually 2 years before we started going over there, we went over a couple of times.
Wow.
But we got to see some cool stuff in the Japanese countryside. Took a little
My
bullet train
favorite thing about going to Japan and doing stadium work was you see those, I think those are they're Sapporos or something, but I found this Asahi big vending machine, and we were going to see the Killers at the Budokan, which is a famous kind of music place. And, you know, we didn't have tickets. We called our friends at Live Nation. They gave us like, hey, if you go around back, there's this window. So sure enough, Rob Newman's there, like shelling out all the money he has to get us into this thing. So I go and I find this Asahi thing, and I stick my corporate card in there, and it works. And I hit the button, and a beer comes out. And I hit it again, and another one comes out. I hit it again, and another one comes out. I'm just like boom, 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 boom. I come back to the rest of the guys. I'm like, we're good.
Nice.
Some actual Wi-Fi here. So this is Rockledits that we were just talking about. They've got this really cool setup because these touring acts come in there and they test out their setups before they go on the road. So big, you know, all your big touring musicians, artists, they go and they do this. So they've done this really cool thing in the middle of Amish country in Pennsylvania where they've built these big black cubes that are essentially, you know, empty unless someone's in there practicing, and they've got all the rigging and all the stuff they need to be able to do that testing of their show. It also happens to be an awesome place to test new APs where we can go and put these things on this rigging and put it at various heights and do all this different stuff. They've got the grid painted on the floor that shows you exactly where you are. So as you're doing surveying and taking data, you're getting like the best, highest accuracy data you can possibly get. But yeah, this was before this. Was this
It's 2020. That's right
Yeah.
before
9104?
Yeah, that was a hand-built prototype where we were trying to prove to ourselves that if we, you know, it was like the beginning of the hyperdirectional kind of revolution, although we probably didn't know it at the time. But we were testing these filters on these hand-built arrays to make sure that we could increase our distance by basically eliminating side lobes. And that's what we did that week, and it worked.
Wow.
That's right. That's right. Yep. And we do some actual work. This was fairly recent, actually. So this was the beginning of our 6 gig testing.
Yep.
Back in 2023, spring 2023. Yeah.
Yep. Kia Center,
So-
which used to be Amway, I guess, where the Orlando Magic play.
Yep. Yep. So definitely looking a little more distinguished in our.
Yep.
Is that your code word for
Coloration
gray
coming in
hair?
there.
Yeah. Yeah. This is after my now 5-year-old was born, and after 15 years of working with this dude.
Yeah, it probably has more to do with what the guy sitting next to you, 5-year-old.
Pretty good though. Pretty good.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, you just
Case in
look,
point.
just look at this guy. I mean, you spent that's what happens after 15 years with this guy.
Yeah, you're hanging out with pool float unicorns at my
That's right.
backyard bar.
That's right. That's right. And Bo knows and loves this place very well. We were just doing some testing. This happens to be our brand new. This was a prototype, as you can tell. It's taken some beatings, but
Yeah.
our brand new kind of built for purpose LPV, large public venue / stadium AP antenna, integrated AP antenna unit, the 9179, and we were doing some testing with that in a stadium where Bo has been spending a lot of quality time lately. But yeah, it's been quite a ride, quite a crazy freaking ride. I don't know,
Been
Bo,
nuts.
you got any stories you want to throw out there?
Man, I've got so many war stories, but I don't know how many of them I can actually share with a professional
Instagram.
audience, right? This one, though, you know, in Denver, I think this is a pretty cool experiment that you guys were able to do because I have 2,000 access points in those seats, you know, broadcasting 6 gigahertz. And the fact that you were able to put some of these new APs on the sidelines and they worked and they didn't have any
Yeah.
problems and we could separate out that spectrum. That's huge. That's really
Yeah.
cool. And it says a lot about this new antenna.
Yeah. It's legit.
Very cool.
I do remember playing shuffleboard with Bo on one of those bar top shuffleboard tables in Plano, Texas.
Plano,
Really cool
Plano,
little bar.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's right across the street from the barbecue spot. At Vickery Park. That's it.
Yes, there you go.
That's
Yeah.
it. Maybe we'll get some
Ah.
sponsorship for that or something.
I think that some of those guys showed up with a bottle of Whistle Pig, if I don't.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think everyone was a step slower the next day.
Yeah.
The entire
Yeah.
group.
That was a great spot though. They had darts and yeah, we've definitely just had a lot of fun together. And it's really cool for me to think about, you know, I've now spent like a third of my life working with these dudes and just how many experiences, how much of this stuff that I wouldn't have gotten to do without this job. Like seeing the world and all this stuff it's like it's just wild when I really
We've been
think
all
about it.
over the world doing this, all different kinds of stadiums, all different kinds of places. I mean, there's been times where I've had to basically hold Josh by both shoulders and shove him through the security line at Istanbul Airport. I'm like, he's fine. I'm telling you, he's fine. Just go, Josh. Go.
We've seen the world. We've seen the world.
It took a toll. We're still doing it though. We're going to be going to Poland
Yeah.
next month. We're going to be going to somewhere in Asia Pac in the early year, giving some training and just still talking to people. I think that's probably the most fun part for me is that if it was the same, man, I get bored pretty easily, but it's not the same. It's always changing. It's always, you know, like the whole 6 gigahertz thing, like listen to what Bo's done with, you know, when we were testing stuff for the sideline stuff, we were like, man, why is 6 gig so busy? And it's like, okay, here's a problem. How come all the channels aren't being used? And how come this isn't working right? But it's just one of those things where you gotta, when it's new, you can either, you know, stand on the sidewalk and wait for someone else to figure it out, or you can get out in the street and dodge a couple cars. And
Yeah.
I would say that we've been dodging cars for a long time.
It's the fun part.
Yeah.
It's what keeps it interesting, right? Like you
You get hit by
take the
a few,
beatings,
too,
you
but-
learn the lessons.
Yeah. You get,
Just
you
ask
get
Bo,
the
you get hit
scars.
by a few.
Yeah, exactly. Every now and then you get sideswiped pretty hard. You're like, ooh.
That's right.
I mean, there's
Right.
times where, you know, that's a great Super Bowl story, honestly, in itself. Like, we've had, I would say, one of the most successful runs ever. But there was one Super Bowl, and we won't get super specific on it, but there was one where we didn't have full visibility of the network. We were basically kind of brought in fairly late, somewhat late. And we were just told that, hey, we just want your help with the wireless. And we were like, hey, let's look at the wired network and make sure everything looks good there. And didn't really, we didn't have access to the wired network. And sure enough, that was the one Super Bowl where we encountered a problem. And we basically blew the cam table on the uplink switch, which is another one of those things where you're just like, So if you have access to the 9800, which we did, the 9800's happy. It doesn't care.
Yeah.
If you're a client on the 9800, depending on if you were already programmed in hardware on that switch or not, you might have been happy if you were on for a while. But if you were a new association or you roamed, you weren't going anywhere because you couldn't get on the network. Because when you blow up a switch like that, the things that start to break are the other things like core services, like you can't get an IP address. You can't resolve DNS. Like all these other things that like a lot of people, like I see all these high density presentations, but sometimes the people that give them don't understand all the other routing and switching and firewall and all the other things that have to work. It's not just, if you're just focused on the wireless, then you're probably relying on someone else to figure that out. But I would say in our history, we've had a very top to bottom view of the networks we deploy.
Yeah, like don't use one-to-one NAT on your firewall if you've got 12 IP addresses
and if you know a guy named
65,000
Kevin,
clients.
If you know a guy named Kevin, that's my friend Kevin. We can ask him that story about how, like, man, it works until like the 9th person shows up.
Yep.
Well, that's
Yep.
weird.
Worked great for everyone sitting in the room that was actually monitoring the network, but then nobody else.
Yeah, we're like, weird, Kevin.
Oh man.
I can remember doing golf tournaments.
Oh yeah.
And they promised us they had the sprinkler system turned off.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I saw that recently at we did one of those it's one of the cup ones, but but the same thing. They built a huge structure,
Yeah.
like a hospitality structure over
Yeah,
one of
the
the
temporary.
used to be a
Yeah.
green, and they
Yeah.
put all their APs underneath. I don't love that. I'd rather be directional overhead, but whatever. And they showed, and then we're like, wow, that's weird. Well, they forgot to turn the sprinklers off. So the sprinklers just hosed all the APs, and that was it. It was over.
That happened to me at the Phoenix Open one time. Yeah.
I remember. That's awesome. I do love doing golf, but golf gives me all kinds of memories too. Again, I always stress that, like, being good at high density Wi-Fi, you have to be good at routing and switching in layer 2 and layer 3 technologies as well. We saw something at a golf tournament where, it was a big kind of flat cloud managed network, which, prior to the campus gateway is pretty normal. But what they didn't realize is that, if you're not using port fast and things like that correctly to suppress topology change notifications, and guess what? Those are normal because you're running on generators and battery and all kinds of stuff, because
Stuff's going up and down all over the place.
So it's kind of normal in that environment for things to go up and down. Well, every time that happens, layer 2 flooding happens. And then they had some really old DMPs, that were streaming the video to all the hospitality areas. And then you have your CEO standing there with his, best customers and colleagues and stuff, and who loves golf and who's watching the screen, and all of a sudden the screen just starts glitching like crazy. And you're like, well, that's a problem. So you got to design your networks a little better to minimize stuff like that. So we don't have that problem anymore, but it's just one of those things where somebody's going to be like, oh, it's the Wi-Fi. No, it's not. You have layer 2 flooding, and you have DMPs with 100 meg interfaces, and you're flooding more than 100 megs. There you have it.
Yeah. It's amazing how that stuff changes in a hurry like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're guilty until you prove yourself innocent.
Yeah.
Always.
So I guess we're about out of time, but just real quick, what, like, over the years, what's kind of evolved in the tools? Like, you guys, when you go in, I mean, obviously we didn't used to have, back when you first put in 2.4 only, the tools were pretty limited, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
it's kind of funny because it's in some ways it's gone a long way, and in other ways we still use a lot of the same stuff we used 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Config Analyzer, our good buddy
Config
Javier.
Analyzer all the time.
That thing has been our
all
buddy
the time.
since day one.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Hats off to Javier on that, because that thing, we don't ever not use that. But to your point, there are some newer ones, like the WLAN Pi Go, and like all of that kind of open source stuff is super useful. Sensor type stuff has been super useful to get, a better feel. We used to do interesting stuff, and we can try to bring that back a bit with like Splunk. So like in the big networks, let's just say you've got a couple thousand APs. If you had a misconfigured AP that didn't have the right policy tag and wasn't beaconing, but it was correctly associated to your controller and completely happy, would you know it? I don't think you would. You see what I mean? Like it's
Or
hard
if somebody
to find.
took a forklift and knocked an antenna off your AP.
Yeah, exactly. Or someone put a big metal shelf in front of your antenna. Would you know? So we were writing cool tools to go and find things like that. Those needle in the haystack thing, or maybe there was something wrong with the radio or something like that. But it's like it's still talking CapWAP to the controller. So the controller's like, yeah, all your APs are fine. But that's weird that AP hasn't had a client in 2 months. Huh? Yeah. So there's, we got a little custom in some of that because we knew what we were looking for. And then we start to monitor things that basically anytime that something burned us pretty bad, we figured out a way to make sure that same thing didn't burn us again. So like cam tables, NAT pools, all that stuff, all the RF stuff.
DHCP scopes.
Yeah, exactly. DHCPs. I saw that one. You'd be amazed. Even recently, I was asked, it was like within the last year, it was a network that we didn't do. It was a festival, and it was a 3-day music festival, but their DHCP lease time was 4 days. But you've got a different crowd of people. You've got a different crowd of people every day. So on day 1, everything was cool. On day 2, not cool. You don't have you've blown your pool. So just you'd be amazed at things like that still kind of pop up.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
We're
I think
we're
we're out
past
of
the top of
time.
the hour. We told them we would
Yeah.
let them go.
Yeah,
is
no,
great. I mean-
we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
What was this?
Okay.
This was
So fun.
71? 71?
Yeah, 71. Hard to believe.
All right, we're gonna be back for 80.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. We'll book
You got
it.
it. We'd
All
love
right.
to have that.
We'd
Put us
love
down
that.
for 80.
Okay. All right. We'll pencil you in right here.
I'll find some
You
new
heard
pictures.
it here first.
That's right.
No, thank you very much. Just glad, always fun to have you guys on here. Always fun to talk to you and hear the stories and live vicariously through you. And yeah, I mean, these are some great points talking about the bigger picture, outside of just wireless, definitely great points. And then also, not being on the catwalks when the pyrotechnics are about to go off too.
Yeah.
Glad not to that.
Put up your phone.
Lots of important lessons here
Yeah.
learned today. So
It's all
thank
about
you
safety.
guys. Yeah. Thank you very much, Josh, Bo, Matt, and
Awesome.
yeah, thanks so much.
Thanks for having us. We love doing
thanks
it.
for having us,
It's a
guys.
great.
Yeah.
We love this channel. We love. Make sure you guys subscribe. We always try to promote it ourselves because we like all the
I
content.
know you
we put
do.
up.
Yeah, I know you do. We
Yep.
appreciate that. So thank you very much. And if you ever want to get a hold of us, as a reminder, you can reach us. You can email us, getunplugged@cisco.com, Twitter X at unplugged 80211, or Threads unplugged connectivity. You can always get a hold of us through your Cisco account team as well. They know how to get a hold of us. If you have ideas, you want to be on the show, you have any questions, feedback, we'd love to hear it. But thanks so much for your time. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay connected and unplugged.